Hi everyone, I'm Manisha Singh. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're keeping safe and whichever country you're watching this from is on its way to getting better with each day. So today I'm going to talk about 10 questions that I personally am slightly tired of answering. So I just wish people stop asking these questions. So let's begin. First, and I have a list and all. So first one, let's start with the easy ones. What language do you speak in India? Or a variant of this question, like do you speak Hindi? What's your national language? So I do speak Hindi because it's my mother tongue, but not everybody in India speaks Hindi. There are 22 official languages in India and about 1200 spoken languages. I'm not too sure if these are different dialects or different languages altogether. The line is a little blurry. But yeah, essentially what I'm trying to say is there are lots of languages in India and not everybody speaks or understands Hindi or English. Second one, how do you speak English so well? So there's a good chance that the people that you're meeting who are traveling have had a decent education, had the privilege of going to a decent school where English is taught as a language. Other than that, all the other subjects, the medium of teaching these subjects is generally English as well. So a lot of people, and because there's so many languages in India, there is a good possibility that if you live in a big city, your friends have different languages they speak at home. So English sort of connects everyone. It's a very commonly spoken language in India, especially at workplace. Third one, are you a vegetarian? So I personally am a vegetarian, but not everybody in my family is a vegetarian. India does have one of the largest population of vegetarians in the world. However, India has a huge population. So there are also a lot of people who do eat meat. Yep. Is Indian food the spiciest? So for most part of my life, I equated spice to the hotness. Now I understand that when we say spicy, we mean the number of spices that goes in the food. So yes, Indian food is actually quite spicy. There are quite a few spices that goes into the food. An average household has like 5 spices in the household. Like, I'm a minimalist. I don't cook too much. In the lockdown, I'm cooking, but otherwise I rarely cook. And I think I have close to 6 to 8 spices in my house. But in terms of hotness, I think Mexican food is quite hot, and there's a lot of chili in Thai food as well. Yeah. Next question. So this is the 5th question. Do people eat beef in India? In a lot of parts in India, selling of beef is illegal. But a lot of parts in India, in a lot of parts, it's okay. And also I should add that India is the largest exporter of beef. However, in India, beef doesn't just mean cow meat. It can also mean buffalo meat. Next question. Do you pray to cow? Is cow sacred to you? And a lot of questions around cows, like, is it true that you see cows on the streets in India? It is. Is cow sacred to us? It is sacred to Hindus, and I think I read that 72% of Indian population practices Hinduism. So there's a huge population that doesn't practice Hinduism in India, and for them it is not sacred. So yeah, it is a sacred animal to the Hindus. A lot of discussion around cows that happens in India. Some people would say, not me, some people would even say that cows have more rights than Indian women. But I'm not saying that. Next question. What do you wear in India? Pretty much what I wear while traveling, a t-shirt and a pair of trousers. So on this, some people have also asked me, do I wear a sari in India? So I don't wear a sari, but a lot of people do. But so our generation, not so much. We do wear traditional wear on festivals, and the evolved version of our traditional wear, like not necessarily saris but like kurtis, which is also traditional in India. So that is pretty common to see in India. My mother wears sari every single day. Another thing, India has so many different cultures that sari is not the only traditional wear in India. There are a lot of different traditional wears in India. And as we go further, deeper into the rural areas, we'll see people wearing more religious clothes. And it's beautiful. Most of these traditional wear is absolutely stunning, including sari. I absolutely love seeing a woman in a sari, but it's quite difficult to wear and not very backpacker friendly. Otherwise, I would love to wear a sari. Do you practice yoga? I don't. But I do practice meditation. I don't practice yoga. I understand where this question comes from. I think people want to understand what is our exposure like to yoga. So there's a good possibility that in India, one of your parents practices yoga. Not in full capacity, like they are not equipped to turn into an instructor next day. However, they would probably do some breathing exercises. There's a good probability that one of your parents follows a spiritual guru who's into yoga, or you have seen a yoga camp when you were growing up. So the exposure of an average Indian to yoga is definitely more than what someone's exposure would be outside India. Yeah, but I would say I read that less than 1% of Indian population practices yoga. Next question, do you live with your parents? No. Like a lot of people across the world, most of the Indians, not most of the Indians, but a good lot of the Indians, at least the Indians that you meet while traveling, there's a good possibility that they left their home in their late teenage years or early 20s to either pursue higher education or to look for better job opportunities. Like I did. I left my mom and dad's place back in early 2010, so it's been a decade. That was for a job, and once you move to the bigger cities, you either share your apartment with other people or you live alone. Like I have been living alone for a really long time. I guess how it differentiates, how the culture is different from other cultures is when we turn 18 or when we start working, our parents don't expect us to move out unless it's in a different city. So it's very part of the culture that if we work in the same city as our parents live in, we would continue living with them. So I live here alone because my parents live really, really far away in a different town. And the other thing is, it's not uncommon in India to see 3 generations living in the same house. Next question. Question number 10 and the last question. This is also my favorite question. Are arranged marriages for real? So whenever someone asks me this question, they ask it with a lot of sensitivity. And they ask me this question like they are talking about some mythical story. To answer that question, arranged marriages are very much real. However, they have evolved with times. Like in my parents' generation, it was not unheard of, or it was fairly common, at least the place where I come from, for the couple to meet in person on their wedding day. However, now it's not that common. Even in the remote villages, at least where I come from, it's not that common anymore. At least the girl gets to meet. And in cities, I have a lot of friends who still got married through the arranged marriage system, but I also know a lot of friends who chose their partners. And this percentage of people who choose their partners has definitely increased in the last couple of years. India is changing at a very, very rapid pace. So this thing is also changing. Now, how does an arranged marriage work? So it's generally almost like arranged dating. Your parents find you someone that they think is right for you, and the numbers are exchanged. You have conversations. There is almost like a courtship period, and then if you like each other, you get married. So the difference is your parents are involved constantly, and there is an intent of getting married. Now, how do your parents know whom to find for you? Like, how do they shortlist this whole thing? How does it work? So they have like a checklist. I wish there was some scientific method in which it worked, but there is none. So they have their checklist with some big items like what is this person's education, what does this person do, where does he work, how much does he earn, maybe how much, how educated are the women in the family, where do they come from, if it's a conservative family, what religion, what caste. So these are some big checklist items. The guy clears a few and that's it. Promoted to the next phase where the numbers are exchanged and we start speaking. Yeah, so India definitely is changing. People are more open to seeing their kids choose their partners, but there are also traditional values that still exist. That's it. Those were my 10 questions. Let me know if you liked it. I really enjoyed jotting down these questions and creating this video. Let me know if you have any suggestions for next videos and keep safe. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.